World Champs qualifications is completed. We have some expected results, some unexpected results, and plenty of falls. Today we're going to be looking at the Men's Gymnastics World Championships qualifications, who made each final, who didn't. Before we start, I want to talk about this bandit on my nose. I've been trying to get as good as these athletes at the World Championships by trying a Kovacs, and it didn't work, so that's why that's there. Before we go into who made the finals, there were a lot of falls, a lot of mistakes at this World Championships. Watching all of the subdivisions was pretty rough on my heart, to be honest. Oh, bro! Oh, it just gets worse. Alright, come on, Felix. Please just... What am I watching right now, man? I'm not really sure what it is about this World Championships, but it's definitely been a rough one for a lot of people. Qualifying for the European all-around final would have been harder than qualifying for this World Championships all-around final. That just goes to show how much people were struggling. I don't really know why there's been so many fails this particular Worlds. People always talk about the Worlds after an Olympics is a little bit rough, and especially this one with the Taishan floor in particular has had a lot of falls. A lot of athletes have been talking about how they don't really like the floor, they're finding it hard to adjust. But hopefully as we keep going through the week, they'll be able to make these adjustments and hopefully less falls in these finals. It was good that we could get some coverage, some live stream to watch for this Worlds, but it was a bit rubbish, to be honest. Whoever was choosing where these cameras were looking was doing a horrible job, especially in the last subdivision. We had China, France, Canada, Finland, and a few other countries. China is clearly the favorite to show here, and then Canada and France underneath. We hardly saw any Chinese routines, which is ridiculous. So any routines that you see here, I've just found from Twitter, from Instagram, but it was hard to follow along. I'd be expecting to see a Zhang Bohing routine, and then you just see a score pop up. Well, we didn't even get to see any of that. Lan Jingyu on rings, we didn't get to see that one either on the live stream coverage. And he is a top contender, the favorite for the rings title. First list to get into, we have the all-around. So if you look at this list of all-arounders, it looks pretty standard, but the scores are a lot lower than you'd expect. So coming in first, no surprises with the ranking, Daiki Hashimoto of Japan. Although we were expecting at least an 84 out of him, this is what he left at. He started strong on vaults, he had a bit of a falter on high bar with his Liukin, and he had an uncharacteristic fall on floor, as well as all these other athletes that you'll see as well. Second was Noah from Switzerland. This was quite a surprise. No one would have seen Noah coming in second in the all-around at this qualifications, but he had a wonderful day. He was one of the few athletes where everything actually went right. He had an average execution score of 8.633, which is incredible over all the 6 apparatus. If he can replicate this same type of performance in the all-around final, this is definitely worthy of getting into that top 5, maybe even that medal contention. So it'd be cool to see him pop off when no one really had him in their top 3. Third was Zhang Bohing. So we weren't really sure what he was going to look like coming into this, but he looks pretty good. When we could see him on screen, we only got to see about 2 of his routines, which is pretty shocking. He had a scary fall on high bar with a Casina, which is a shame because now he's not in the high bar final. I think coming into the all-around final, he's going to be the favorite for a lot of people because he can easily make up a couple marks here. Coming in fourth, we've got Daniel, a Russian athlete, although he is competing under a neutral international code because Russia isn't allowed to compete at this World Championships. It's nice to see that he can score 80 plus outside of his own country as well, showcasing that we weren't sure whether he was going to be scoring as well internationally as he was domestically, but he's definitely one to watch out for that podium on the all-around. Running up the top 5 is Shi Chong from China. So he finished with an 81.398, and he had a mistake on vault, which was sitting down his handspring double front. And he'll be looking to push up towards that 83 spot as well for the finals. And these are the other athletes that made it into the all-around final. Of note is reigning Olympic all-around champion Oka Shinosuke. He had a rough day. He had uncharacteristic falls on floor, and it just looked like he was struggling so much to finish the competition. I was a little bit worried for him to even get into this final, but even though he's having a really rough day, he's still scoring very comfortably to be in this top 24. I've heard some people say that he's been ill, that he's had a sore back. So I hope he's healthy by the time we get to that all-around final, because he is a top spot contender and it'll be nice to see him push for that, defending his own Olympic all-around title from last year. Some other ones to note is Jesse Moore and Felix Dolce. These guys are in 19th and 20th. Both of these were favourites to push that top 10, top 5 kind of spot, and they both had shockers today. Felix had some great scores and above 13 even on routines with falls, but his pommels let him down drastically with a 9.8. And Jesse fell on 4 out of the 6 apparatus, and he didn't get some skills like the Coleman on high bar counted either. It's a shame because both these athletes could have snuck into a lot of apparatus finals if they wanted to, and even with an off days, they happily qualified into this all-around final. So I really hope these guys can clean up and give us a performance that they can be proud of in the all-around final. And then these are our reserves for the all-around final. To note are both Casimir Schmid and Victor Martinez. Kind of a similar story with them as well. They both had really rough days. They both should have easily solidified themselves in this all-around final. Our first apparatus final we've got is floor. So here are our floor qualifiers. In the top spot is Jake Jarman. This was important for him as he needed to make a statement after he fell on his vault. Unfortunately, on his Yonakura, he kind of just undercut it and then tried to step back and kind of turned over and almost face planted backwards as well, which was a shame. And he did a nice draggy skew as well, which would have put him in the final. He came back to floor, nailed his floor routine, and now he's in the first position with the hardest routine out there, which is cool. Carlos Yulo is looking very good this World Championships. He's got a few upgrades since the Olympics. There's even room for him to upgrade another 0.3 if he really wanted to. He could switch his double twist layout into a double twist double tuck, which would gain 2/10 through the double front and another 10th through the connection. And you can see by the height in his layout that he's definitely capable of this, but whether it's worth a 0.3 is hard to tell because he does that front layout so perfectly. But at this point, Carlos is definitely my favorite to win the title. He just looks so solid. Cameron Nelson did it. He is sitting in third, which is fitting, as he is the first athlete to ever compete 2 triples at a World Championships. Absolutely insane. I'm really happy that he made it to the final, because he makes it just a little bit more electrifying, just knowing that you're going to be seeing a triple back pike and a triple back tuck in the same routine. I think this floor final is going to be stacked. And these are your other floor qualifiers, including world medalist Kazuki Minami, and in 8th, the triple European floor champ Luke Whitehouse squeezed into the final. His landings weren't the best, but it was enough to make it to this final. And if they're better in the final, he's one of those athletes that could win this as well. The biggest upset for floor is probably Harry Hepworth. He had an uncharacteristic fall, but it's kind of hard with these Great Britain boys because there was only ever going to be 2 in the final anyway. It was a shame for Harry to have that fall on floor that he did. This pommel final is going to be stacked. Most of the pommel workers hit their routines at this World Championships. And to be honest, I think because it's an individual World Championships, so many pommel workers were sent to this World Champs. So when you actually look at the list, there are quite a few that didn't make the finals. But right now we've got Olympic silver medalist Karbanov sitting in first with a massive 14.7. Yan Ming Hong is in our second spot with 14.6. And Patrick Hoops sits in third with 14.566. In our top 8 we have both the young Armenians, along with our world's debut athlete Alexander Yolshin Cash, showing why he deserved to be on that Great Britain spot. And it's also nice to see Aiden Lee from Canada making this pommel final too. Gabriel Tagida is sitting in as reserve 1. He is the top scorer of the season so far. So if he's subbed into this final, he definitely could make an upset. And a bit further down we have a few pommel workers, Lee Chi Kai, Hera Wong, Brandon Dang, Jason Rampersad, and Lauren de Monk, who didn't do enough this year to make the finals. Moving on to rings, we have our world's Unigame gold medalist Lan Jingyu sitting in first place. Donald Wittenberg managed to land his own triple back pike dismount pretty decently, and this gave him a nice comfortable second going into finals. And then third we had Zhang Boheng with a 14.6. He is the only athlete here that posted an execution score in the 9s. Really clean routine. And these are your other finalists, including world champ Adam Asil, rings legend Eleftherios Petronius despite a wobbly landing, and Harry Hepworth redeemed himself here, making this final. Notable names outside of the top 8, Courtney Tulloch is in reserve 1. Moving on to vault, as mentioned earlier, Jake sat down on his first vault, leaving him out of the final. Reigning Olympic vault champ Carlos Yulo sniped the top qualifying score with an impressive recede wing, as well as a handspring 2.5 twist, which seems to work a lot better for him compared to the Cuz double twist that he used to do. Arta Davisian is in second, and he'll need to stick 1 or 2 of his vaults to win, I believe. And third, Nizza Cipriani with 14.316. And here are the other finalists. It's nice to see Tommaso Brignami from Italy in here with his beautiful vaults. And Huang Minchi stuck his first vault, but had a mistake in his second vault. Otherwise, he would be nearer the top of this list. And Kazuki managed to stick 1 of his vaults, sneaking into this final too. So that's 2 for 2 finals for Kazuki. He's only done floor and vault at this Worlds, and he's made both those finals, which is sick. P-bars, no surprises here. Zhou Junyuan is top of the list, and he nearly clears second by a full mark. Ridiculous. He did another beautiful routine with a cold stick, and I think this is the only score above 15 that we've seen at this whole World so far, and it was nearly a 15.5. So that just shows his domination on P-bars, and I think everyone's expecting him to win, and has been expecting him to win P-bars every single year. Olympic bronze medalist Oka sits in second here, just ahead of his own teammate Tsunogai Tomoharu. It's nice to see Oka getting an app final here despite his rough day. He didn't just get the all-around final, he managed to get this P-bar final as well. So another spot to kind of redeem himself. And if we actually look at this top list, Japan and China dominated this whole thing. Each country is only allowed to put up 3 athletes per apparatus, and all 6 of the athletes from Japan and China are in the top 8 here. But of course, only 2 from each country are allowed in, so Daiki and Zhang are missing out on this final. This moved qualifying down to 9 and 10, which were the 2 Russians. Anil Baraez has a very difficult routine, and if he cleans up more, he could move up. And it's nice to see Donnell in this final, as well as the rings final. Notably, Ferhat Erdikan is first reserve, and I believe he could medal as well if he managed to get in there. Otherwise, this was a pretty reasonable final. High bar. This was rough. There were a lot of falls on high bar, and maybe it's because of the colors. Some athletes discussed about how since the landing's completely white, it's been really hard to kind of see where you're landing. Mishi couldn't have had a little interview with Jim Castic, which kind of explains that a bit better.
Were the mats harder in Montreal or here?
Oh man, I can't remember the Montreal mats, but the white mats can be a challenge. You're kind of coming down out of your high bar dismount and you're a bit blinded for a moment. There's some depth perception stuff, and plus here, the ceiling is pitch black. So right after I come over the bar today for the Gaylord taps, I'm seeing white, and then all of a sudden I'm extremely conscious of just blackness. Usually, it's all muscle memory, I'm not really seeing anything. And all of a sudden, like, whoa, there's the ceiling, and I keep going. It's quite a trip.
For our final spots, Tsunogai Tomoharu smashed his high bar set, and he got a nice 14.8. And after a rough parallel bar set, Joe Fraser locked in with a triple back pike dismount, and he's going to this final in second. Nice. Nice. Get it on the feet. Whoa, that was massive. Come on, let's go. Look at it. Daiki had a little bit of a rough routine for him, but he's still finished in third here, and he's got lots of room to improve. And here are our other finalists. Of note is Brody Malone. He competes a Winkler at the start of his routine, but because of some new clarified rules on the Winkler, he actually didn't even get the skill credited. The skill's a big skill, it's a G, which is worth 0.7 in a routine, and I believe him not getting this in the routine reduces his start value by 0.6. So for this new rule, if you show a significant bend in your body position, You will not get the Winkler recognized, and you'll get a deduction as well. So it's super duper impressive that Brody's sitting here with a 0.6 less difficulty and a big execution deduction here as well. So I don't really know what he's going to do in the finals. I don't know whether it's worth going for the Winkler again. Just because of the way he does it from the upstart rather than from a giant, it'll be pretty hard to do the Winkler how they want it to be done. But that's definitely something to look out for. Maybe he just locks in, gets rid of the Winkler, and just makes sure everything else is super clean. Only time will tell. And then for our reserves, we have Anyo Barajes, and he has a monster routine, and it would be nice to see him in this final. High bar legend Tin Sarabich didn't make the final, and a few other athletes had some mistakes, leaving them out of the final too, including my favorite to win, Tang Chiaihung of Chinese Taipei, Taiwan. Nice Dan, nice try on time. Oh man, nice Dan. What did I say there? And we could have had a lot of other different athletes in this high bar final. It was kind of just whoever stayed on, to be honest. Like Arthur Mariano of Brazil, Jesse Moore, Shinosuke. Oh no! It's so tricky to do that. And Kyle Souza, Felix Dolce. But with the state of some of the falls and some of the quality we're seeing in the qualifications in general, I'm kind of happy that we do have the high bar final that we have. And last but not least, I'm going to shout out the New Zealand boys here. I'm super proud of what they did. It was so fun watching them. I was in the call with Rory, Alex, Max, and like all the boys were in the live stream chat that I was watching. And we were rooting for you, cheering for you guys the whole time. You guys definitely produce some good quality work, and you have a lot to be proud of. William completed a beautifully clean routine, and without that hop on this dismount, he could have been close to that like top 10 in this qualifications, which is super cool. And some of the clips that we saw, like from Keegan and Daniel on high bar, showed some clean stuff as well. And Logan and William also showed really beautiful pommel routines. Just a shame about those dismounts.
I'm gonna hold my comments for now.
Yeah, that's it.
Come on.
Let it go through. Come on.
Come on, Logan.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, nice.
He's on. He's on. Come on.
Push. Oh, gosh.
Hey, he's still out.
Clutch. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
Push. No.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, Logan.
We're getting good coverage. This is
Facts.
happy with this.
Gotta be appreciative. Nice.
Come on, Will.
Good flops, man.
Nice.
Very good flops.
Oi.
Come on.
Wait. No.
Come on, swing it.
Whoa. Oh my gosh.
Misha managed to stay on for his high bar with a massive 4 releases, which is super cool, and he finished up top 21 here, which is awesome.
Ooh, the stream switched to high bar channel.
I'm too zoomed in. Oh, he doesn't go for the Gala too, did he? Good choice, Misha. Come on.
Oh, please.
Oh, he got a one-handed thing as well. Oh, he must have just completely replaced it, which is fine. He's gonna stick it. Come on, Misha!
Hell yeah. He's like, praise the bar.
Let's go! Awesome. Hope you boys enjoy the rest of your week. And that rounds out the qualifications recap. I'll be up bright and early live streaming the all-around final, trying not to fall asleep. I really hope the athletes here are going to show a better performance, especially from Oka, Jesse, Felix Daiki, and Jang. It'd be nice to see a clean all-around final to watch. And until then, thank you for watching.